Welcome to this week's live stream. I'm really excited about this one. We have a special guest with us, which you can probably see on screen now. But we are going to be talking all about ranking and optimization, and we've got 2 tips that we're going to share with you to help you get your videos ranked on YouTube. So I'd like to welcome Mike, who you can see on screen there. Mike is the behind the scenes guy at Primal Video. He's the ninja that ranks all our videos, and he's the sole responsible person for the growth of our YouTube channel. So welcome, Mike.
Don't know about sole responsible person, but hey everyone, how's it going? I've done a couple of videos before, but usually I keep getting locked up in the back room. Oh, yes. We got Owen in here as well now too. Wow, so now it's a party.
Now it's a party. Owen's in. Welcome. We've got lots of people joining us here already. We've got Peter. We've got Epic Gamebot. We've got Airtime. Doug's in here as well. Nitro Adventure. And Owen. Yeah, Owen. No, this is we're just using Wirecast. And I'm just Skyping Mike into this one. So Mike's in Singapore. I'm in Australia. So yeah, that's how we've pulled this together. But Mike, thanks very much for joining us. And yes, as Mike said, we will be pulling Mike out from behind the scenes a bit more often. He has done a couple of videos on our YouTube channel, all around video ranking and optimization. So that's why I thought let's get him onto this one and share a couple of tips. So we will be doing a Q&A as well, and Mike can see the comments, and obviously you saw Owen in there as well. So if you've got any questions specific to video ranking or optimization, Mike can jump in and answer those as well, or anything else. He's not just limited to video ranking and optimization. Cool. I guess do you want to start out by, maybe I can share my #1 tip first, and then we'll jump into some questions, and then we'll come back into to Mike's tip as well. My #1 tip for video optimization, for video ranking, is your thumbnails. This is actually a tip I stole from Mike, so yeah, credit where credit's due. The thumbnails are the most important thing. The idea is to get the people onto your video first, and then you can keep them there with your content, or then they'll make the decision to stick around. But the most important part to get people to get onto your videos is your title, your thumbnails. And a good idea with your thumbnails is to have some keywords that are related to the content that you're going to be talking about in your videos. Think of it as you're going to a bookstore. Like, everyone judges a book by its cover, and they're going to pick which books they want to buy or which ones are of interest to them. YouTube is no different. I think there's up to 19 videos that are displayed on YouTube at once, or thumbnails. So you need to have a thumbnail that stands out, that entices your viewer to click something interesting. You'll see, like, I do a lot of stupid stuff, like point at stuff and whatever, and this is all, again, because of Mike. It's things to make people click. It's something interesting. It's something different. It's not just a random frame grab from the video. It's really worth spending some time and honing down your thumbnails and building some branding, so that people, when they're looking through YouTube and go, oh, there's another Primal video, or there's another video from Owen Video on there as well. So it's a huge branding thing. So yeah, and Mike has been instrumental in the growth of our thumbnails and branding as well.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Like, when you test different thumbnails. So I've been testing thumbnails for a while now, and if you it's a good opportunity to add a few extra keywords as well. So you have to obviously optimize your title and your tags and everything for a specific set of keywords, but they're not going to attract everyone. So what you want to do is at least show up in their search feed, and they may have a different question in mind, or at least different wording. It gives you a second stab at hitting the right wording, something that's actually going to attract their interest. So that's why you see our thumbnails are very keyword heavy. But also, like you said, the consistency and branding. So you can be skimming through search results and immediately just see something familiar. Now, whether you consciously know that you're drawn to that or not, if it's familiar, then it ticks a little box there for you. And what you want to do is tick as many of those boxes as you can, because you only have like a split second in that search feed to get selected before, one of the other, 8 options that appear on screen is going to trump you. So,
yep. Yeah, thumbnails, #1 thing. That's a question that comes up all the time. If you have to pick one thing to focus on to get people to, or to grow your audience, I would say your thumbnails would be the most important. Because once you get them there, then they can decide, or then they can choose if they're going to like your content and watch the rest of your videos, and which is a whole nother thing, to optimize your videos themselves. But the key is to get them into that position first. So
it looks like Zeke mentioned. Apologies, he's been somewhat clickbaity. That's good for getting the initial click, Zeke, but then afterwards what you'll tend to notice is the watch time can drop off. So just keep an eye on that, because that's going to send a pretty big signal to YouTube that you're good at ranking in search. You're good at getting the clicks in search, but you're not good at holding the watch time. So yeah, I mean, it's good if you can get the click, but as long as you can keep the view as well.
Yep, cool. We've got quite a few people joining us here. We've got Isabel, we've got Zeke, we've got Doug, we've got My Summer there as well, DIY Solar and Wind. I saw Oleg in there from We Video. Thanks very much for joining us, guys. And we will get to the questions as well. So if we miss your question, obviously you can see what we see. So feel free to ask it again, but also help each other out. If there's something that someone's asked a question in there that you know the answer to, then we're building a community here of people helping people with video. So if you know the answer and you can see that we've missed it, or you just want to help someone out, then feel free to answer their question there as well and help each other out. So that's what it's all about. Yeah,
we've got some incredibly smart people in the comments already too. Owen here dropping his wisdom.
Yep, awesome. Yeah, thank you very much for joining us, all of you. So we got My Summer there. It says it's 3:25 a.m. waking up early. That's very early. That time doesn't even exist for me at this point. Although I do have 2 young kids that wake up pretty early, but 3:25, that's crazy early. Thank you for joining us. Well, Mike, do you want to share your tip now, and then we'll jump into some Q&A?
Sure. I think one thing that a lot of people don't do well, and then the people that are actually ranking and are actually growing fast do very well, is focus. I know that sounds simple, but to give you an example, right? I mean, you want to basically optimize each video for a very, very specific purpose and to answer a very specific question, because then it's going to get found for that specific question. So as an example, we've done a whole series on smartphones and filming and editing with smartphones and everything, but that didn't start out that way. We actually started planning a video for how to create videos with smartphones. And that would encompass filming, editing, best camera apps, best editing apps, like all of these little subtopics. It was so hard to rank that video because it's too high level. Like, and as soon as you are planning out the titles and the tags and descriptions and trying to figure out what you want to optimize a video for, if it's difficult, if it's hard to figure out what the question is that you're answering for your audience and what specifically they're going to search, then that's a glaring sign that you're shooting too high up. There could be multiple topics within that video, and you want to break that down. So, for example, I mean, instead of how to create videos with smartphones, we ended up with the best camera apps for smartphones, how to film with smartphones, the best camera apps for iPhone, the best camera apps for Android. Like, that's 4 videos just on the filming side that take just as much planning as it would have taken to do that high level video, and they're all going to rank much better. And that's not even touching on the editing stuff. We've got best editing apps for Android, best editing apps for iPhone, how to edit with each of those apps. Like, you've just from one video, you've now got 10 plus. So you not only end up with a heap more topic ideas, but each of those is much better ranked and targeted for the keywords that people are actually going to be searching for. So if you're struggling to come up with the one question or the one problem that you're solving for your audience, then I would always just take a step back and look at it and say, okay, am I looking at this from too high of a level? Can I break this down into multiple topics that are going to rank for their individual search terms, which are far more specific, but they're going to rank much better? And then you can use advanced stuff like playlists and whatever to give them the whole suite of your videos and get them watching stuff back to back.
So that also gives you more content to create, right? Because you're not trying to cram everything into one video, which then makes each one of those videos easier to produce because they're on such a more succinct topic. So that was one, as you said, one of the big things that we did. We started creating videos that were encompassing a huge range of topics, like 15 tips in one video for filming on your smartphone. And then when we broke those down, that was heaps easier for me to create the videos because I'm just talking about best tripods for Facebook Live or best microphone for Facebook Live or whatever it might be. So the whole process became easier, but the videos themselves did better because people were searching for that specific thing. So yeah, and obviously the ranking and optimization. Yeah.
That's another good example. Like, I mean, we had the best smartphone setup or the best setup for Facebook Live. And then we looked at that and said, well, there's actually different components there. I mean, we could do an overarching video, and we did, but why don't we break it down for people that are going to be searching specifically for tripods or specifically for lenses or specifically for microphones? So we ended up with, I think it was like 5 videos instead of 1, and each of those is performing. I think the sub videos, as in the best tripod, the best microphone, those more niche specific videos are actually ranking better than the best gear for iPhone. So we've got it there, we've still got it, but we've actually been able to produce videos that are ranking significantly better for more specific search terms off the back of that. The research is all the same. It's just we're bringing it all together for anyone who wants, that higher level video as well. So you end up with more content, the same amount of preparation, and better ranking. So,
but also you can break it down even further and go, even if the videos are almost the same, you could go best microphone equipment for Facebook Live or best microphones for YouTube, and they may be different. In that example they might not be, but your content can actually go further, and people will be searching specifically for YouTube or specifically for Facebook for a microphone ideal, for that scenario. So you can actually repurpose your content and create very similar content but more specific to what people are searching for, because the more niche you are on your, correct me if I'm wrong, the more niche you are, the easier, or the more people are going to click and search for your videos, because it is exactly answering what they're after or what they're searching for.
Yeah, the more you'll show up for their specific pain point as and when they need to see your video. Yeah, and look, if anyone's looking for ways to sort of capitalize on that to the next extent, once you've got that series of videos, once you've got a series on, editing with smartphone or filming with smartphone, Sean Cannell had a really good video the other day on playlists and how to structure those up as an advanced tactic as well, to boost your channel watch time. I can't remember the name of the video, but maybe we'll drop it down in the box after we wrap this one up. Cool. Just
testing out this new Logitech Brio camera, and it seems to be working all right, but I look a bit blue compared to you. I think a video guide have it sorted. Yes, no, it's working all right.
Work on that, man.
Yeah, I know. I'll get onto that. So I did miss a question. Sure. I did see one jumped out from Owen. How many videos do we plan at once, and what's our process, and how many do we record at once? At this point, I'm actually scripting. This is scripting week for me. There is 13 or 14 videos that I will be doing research on, and then Mike and I will work together on putting a bit of a script and a process around the videos from there. I then allow a week. When I say a week, there's 3 days in a week where I have the opportunity to film, where it's quiet here. So the planning is all done before. So when I sit in front of the camera, I know what I'm going to be talking about. I'm not then thinking how much is this camera, or comparing to other options. All the research and everything is done first, which is a massive thing, and that's something that I didn't used to do. I used to sit down and go, I'm going to talk about this topic, and planning is never a strong part, which is where Mike's helped with all the processes and everything around it. And there was another question there that said, is it better to do it solo or with a team? And I have to say, it's better to do it with a team. So Mike and I are Primal Video. We are Team Primal Video. And if you've got someone that can help you out,
I think we need
definitely.
Mm.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, it's almost a V-neck. Yeah.
just to add to true. Mine's better. Just to add to that, though, I think with the planning of videos, we now do 8. So we plan at minimum 8 in a bundle. So basically, Sunday this week, Justin and I jumped on a call because I'm actually in Singapore right now, and Justin's back in Australia. So we jumped on a call. We said, okay, well, what 8 videos do we want to do over the next sort of month or two? And we planned them out. We've got a whole series coming around, sort of updating our video editing software recommendations. So what we basically just planned out, these are the topics we're gonna hit over the next 8 weeks or however many we plan to roll out over every week. And then we came up with those topics. We dumped them into a Trello board to manage them there. So then they're in a column that's listed Justin to list key points. So he obviously goes through, lists his recommendations and key points. Then I'll come through and I'll throw a structure around it. Now we can do another video maybe next week or the week after or something on an optimized video structure to keep viewers in and maximize watch time. But we go through and basically pull all of his dot points into an optimized video structure, and then from there it goes to shoot day, and then we push it off to editing, and it's a process that we track all in Trello.
Yep. So that's yeah, it's all the planning is done up front, and that's really the key. But we try to then do them in bulk. So as Mike said, I try to do at least 8 in a recording session. I think I may have got 8 out once in one day, but normally I'll just sort of break it down and do a few at a time. It takes me a lot longer than some people to create some videos, which surprises a few people. So there's a question here from Isabel, which I've seen in the comments on our channel quite a few times. I will address this one. For YouTube video in general, will the Nikon D3300, Canon SL1, Nikon D3400 or Canon T6 work for comedy skits? I know that you've asked this question a heap of times. I would always say that the best camera is the one that you can afford and that you can use. And you shouldn't wait to start creating your videos until you've got these cameras. Use your phone, use whatever you've got. As for which one of those would be my pick if you're going to buy one, I would personally go Canon over Nikon. Or Nikon, and the video that we just released this week or last week was all about the different brands and why I like different brands and the strengths and weaknesses of the different ones. Nikons are great. They're cheaper camera. You get great results out of them, but they're typically more complicated to use. That's why I like the Canon. So your Canon T6 or even the SL1, which isn't a DSLR, not to get bombarded down or bogged down with the cameras. It's got to be personal preference. If you have the opportunity to try a couple of them, see which one is easiest for you to create videos and pick that one. That's going to be my answer. But probably look at the Canons over Nikon.
Zeke said his pockets thank you.
Sorry?
Zeke said his pockets thank you.
Oh.
That's great. We've also got...
That's what it's about. You don't need to run out and spend all this money all the time. Use your phone. Use whatever you've got. And then upgrade when you can or when you need to. Yes.
Cool. We've also got Alex Lyon in the house now too, communication skills coach. So
congratulations.
1K, right?
Yep, that's awesome. 1,000 subscribers. And they said...
The virtual fist bump to you.
The first 1,000 is definitely the hardest. Actually, I remember the first 50. We had conversations back and forth at 50. It's like, what are we doing here? This is taking a long time to get 50. And then you kind of question it. And then you see so many times people will stop at maybe 100 or 200. So that's awesome that you've hit 1,000. Congratulations. And it definitely gets easier from here.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, because for us to get to the first 50 subs, we didn't actually tell any friends or family that we had this channel running. I mean, I think we had a total of 10 subscribers come from friends who just happened to stumble upon the channel. We just started uploading videos. They weren't optimized. I think a few of them are still up on the channel. They still keep a few up there as painful reminders of how bad those initial videos were, because we wanted to make a point of not leveraging Justin's video production background too much in terms of the production quality of the videos. We wanted to make them simple to use, to set up, and simple to create, so that, because that's our audience, that's you guys. I mean, most of you aren't professional video producers, and you shouldn't need to be to get videos up on YouTube. So, to get that first 50 subscribers without any optimization, without figuring out how to leverage this whole YouTube engine, it took what, 6 months to get to 50 subs or something like that. I think it was painful. And then 3 months later we hit 100, and I think 3 months after that we hit 1,000, and then it was last May when I started doing this full time with Justin. Was when we really sort of doubled down, and it would have been March last year. Yeah, really sort of doubled down and started, testing and optimizing and figuring things out. And since then, it's just grown a lot faster. But anyone can do it. It's really not, it is going to be slow at the start, and that's what I always warn everyone. But as long as you stick with it, it's really just the consistency and being able to push through that barrier that 98% of other people, I mean, let's be honest, don't end up sticking with it, and then but the people who do eventually crack through. So
Yeah, it's not a quick game. It's not, everyone's looking for that overnight success. I've been on YouTube a year and I got this many, subscribers. You'll hear like of people that have only been going a year and hit 1 million. Like that is an I can't even say it. Anomaly. Get tangled on words sometimes. I can't speak good words. And people compare themselves then to that, but it's not the real world. Like it takes a lot of hard work and a lot of time, but if you're persistent and consistent, how's that? Then that'll work. Yes, cool.
Alex, I'd be interested to hear what would be your number one tip for that you've picked up since you started the channel. Let us know down, and we'll shout that one out too. And anyone else who's got a tip that you would throw out to anyone that's just starting, what's the number one thing you've learned to grow your channel on YouTube?
We got Airtime asking there how to edit video faster. I assume that's a question. Number one tip is to do your editing in your filming, so don't move on to the next section, the next paragraph, the next dot point until you're happy with the last one. And that way, when you're editing, if you edit backwards, so edit right to left instead of left to right, you'll always hit the best take first. So that is probably the fastest way that you can speed up your editing, and obviously make sure that everything is planned and practiced even before you start filming, so that you're not then recording a heap of extra footage, so that you've got less to edit. So that would be my number one tips for editing, and it's not even editing, that's in your filming. Cool. All right, who else we got here? Did you do anything specific to grow your channel? What is your recipe format? Consistency is definitely a big part. I know that when we first started out, we were releasing videos, I wouldn't say randomly, but they weren't consistent to every week. When we started releasing videos every week, it made a huge difference, and that's when we started to see the growth. We did experiment and still are experimenting with releasing 2 videos as well. I know that when we jumped from 1 to 2 videos, our growth more than doubled for that period, or close. Like, there was more than an increase of doubling the videos, but it's got to be sustainable, and you've just got to be consistent. So I'd say lock in 1 a week if you can do that. I wouldn't say run out and do 1 a day, because that would be an absolute nightmare. Well, depending on the type of videos you're creating. Something realistic, something you can commit to, because the YouTube algorithm will thank you if you can stay consistent. So we are 100% locked in at doing 1 video per week, and wherever we can, we'll run out a second one as well.
But what Justin also probably doesn't realize is that behind the scenes, we're also rolling out minimum 2 playlists a week as well. So YouTube typically likes to see, I guess YouTube's a bit of a black box. So you hear people making assumptions about what YouTube wants to see and whatever. And I like hearing that and then testing it out. And what we do behind the scenes is actually create 2 playlists, minimum 3 pieces of content every week. And the way that YouTube works, it actually treats a playlist as a new video or a new upload. So you can actually hit your minimum 3 to 5 just by creating a new targeted playlist every week as well. So whatever the shortfall is, we'll typically bump that up to 3.
Yep. Cool. Just reading through some of the comments. If you're Logan Paul, my number one tip is always plug. Fair enough. Always. Also pillows, so banging your head won't hurt. Yes, definitely. Pillows definitely help in the video creation and editing process. It can be rather stressful and rather, especially if something doesn't go to plan. It doesn't always go to plan. I know I've sat down to film and I've had the 8 videos ready to go, and I'm just not feeling it. It's not working. It's taking me, an hour to get a video out, which should be a really short, sharp video. So it doesn't always go to plan, and that's when you want your pillows. But it's okay to say, no, it's not working for me today. Come back the next day or in a couple of days, and you'll probably get them all done in next to no time. So I used to beat myself up about, I've got all these videos to do. I've got to get them done. And some days you're not on. So now I'll recognize that pretty early on, go and do something totally different, so I'm still productive for that day, and come back, and it's always the next day you sit down for it. You'll get them done really, really quick. So Don't stress about it too much.
Rocky FIFA, I see you in the comments. Fourth comment. So Alex has shared some pretty good tips there too. So just keep posting every week. Consistency, definitely. Try to find topics people are looking for so the videos can rank, definitely, and keep them specific and you know, targeted at very at search terms that they're using. Try to be really helpful in each video so there's a lot of value in each video. Definitely. You want to create a ton of value so people come back and you're solving their problems. So that's awesome advice.
Yeah, cool. And we will be putting Mike back through all of this again too, so that he can create some more videos, especially on this topic, video ranking and video optimization.
Put him back through what?
Back through all this whole process. You'll have to get your pillows out because you'll be banging your head against the wall. Probably not, actually. If you saw how quick Mike was able to turn out some videos, it totally put me to shame, and I'm the video guy. Yeah, he's like, yeah, I just did 2 videos today. And I'm thinking, okay, yeah, no, totally edited, done.
I just keep a pillow
there
on
you
my
go.
desk.
Yeah. You pulled that out way too quick, by the way. You're clearly not working there.
It's right next to my desk.
Yeah, it's where you want a pillow. Cool. All right, what else we got in here? Thanks for the videos. Thanks, Jarhead. I see you in the comments all the time. So thanks very much for the ongoing support. Cool. Use TubeBuddy, says Nitro Adventure. Definitely. I guess Mike can talk about how much or how instrumental TubeBuddy's been for us. You're using it all the time?
The amount of time that app saves is it's phenomenal. I mean, I think we're on one of the higher plans anyway, but you don't need it. Like you can start out with the free plan. I would definitely then, once you start seeing some growth, upgrade to one of the paid plans because some of those extra features are great. But just being able to see what tags and you know how other people are optimizing their videos is a massive learning experience. So once you start looking, like you see a video you like, it's just showed up in your suggested, it's just showed up in in trending or wherever it may be. Have a look at it. Like what got it there, do you think? And make an assumption about that and go and test it with the next 3 of your videos and just see what happens. And if you want to go and rank a video on a specific topic, who's currently ranking for that? Have a look at that video, break down what you think they've done well and what you think they haven't done so well. Then create a video that takes what they've done well and fixes the things you think they haven't done so well, and just see how that goes. I mean, it's a massive learning thing, but that's only just sort of scratching the surface in terms of what TubeBuddy lets you do. So yeah, awesome. I love TubeBuddy.
Yeah, we've got Natural Pet Cures. Do you recommend paying for SEO or using organic methods like posting videos to Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram? Up until now, we are solely organic. We look to experiment with some paid traffic as well. Obviously, that's a longer game. By optimizing and getting everything organic, you can accelerate it if you want to spend some money and grow quicker. Obviously, that's a whole different game. We did actually do an interview with Gideon Shalwick for our Primal Video Academy, which will be launching soon. Which is our membership site. Think of it like a Patreon, where we go into more detail to help people grow their YouTube channel and get better results with videos. So we interviewed him just on that topic and all around video ads and what he would do now if he was going to grow his YouTube channel. His YouTube channel, I think, is at 40,000 subscribers. So what would he do if he was starting again today, but going to pay along the way, like paid traffic? And it was really interesting. So we'll keep you guys updated when that's out. And yeah, it's pretty interesting. But yeah, you can definitely do it, but we haven't yet.
Pretty pumped about that one. Actually, yeah, I think it's something I want to experiment with for sure.
Yeah.
Because I think you can get, especially if you're just starting a channel. I mean, so Gideon is a friend of ours, but he's also, he was one of the OGs on YouTube out here,
Yeah.
So he's the kind of guy that he hasn't been producing many videos recently, but he's got a lot of respect in the industry as well. So he has been experimenting a lot with using video ads, especially on YouTube, Facebook, to drive growth. And the cost per subscriber is actually pretty low once you get that funnel working. So it's definitely something that I'm keen to try out. Luxury Card Store had a pretty good question there. So if you have a topic or tutorial that would take at least 20 to 30 minutes to explain, is it better to do it in one video or split it up so that you hit your 3 weekly uploads? I think you don't want your video to be any longer than it needs to be, is the answer. And what question is your audience asking when they want to seek the answers that are in your video? And if that's unclear, this comes back to the tip I dropped before. If that's unclear, or you can't figure out exactly what search terms you should be optimizing that video for, that people are actually going to be searching for, then the answer is probably you've got 2 to 3 videos in there. I wouldn't create a big end-to-end tutorial and then chop it up into part 1, part 2, and part 3. To me, that's just not going to rank too well. I mean, it's just you may rank for one of them, but what if part 3 shows up in front of part 1? It's just that extra element for viewers to then have to go back, find part 1, start from the beginning, and then keep going from there. What I would do is try and say, okay, well, can I break this down into sub-processes? Can I break this down into sub-tutorials? And we'll say, in this part of the tutorial, we're going to cover, in this video, we're going to cover, B to D, right? And you don't have to say it's part of a broader process, but you can then mention, we covered A to B back in another video, which I'm going to link in the cards right now. And that's optimized for a specific set of search terms related to the outcome that your audience is going to get at from A to B. And then B to D is a different outcome. You're solving a different problem. And then say D to M is, the next video. So you could, I would just be looking at that and breaking it down into what specific questions is my audience going to ask to want to find the answers that are in this video.
Yep. There's a heap of information in there. You might need to play it back and go back through and listen to what Mike said. But it's definitely it's all about structuring and breaking it down. If you were wanting to know how to do that tutorial, like if you're as a viewer and it's a 20 to 30 minute video, but it's exactly what you wanted, you'd be happy to watch the 20 to 30 minutes instead of watch 5 minutes here and then try and find the next video. Or I'd rather set it to 2-speed on YouTube, play through it quick, and know that I'm getting everything that I need in one video instead of having to jump across to another one. That's just me personally, but I think as Mike said, we'll break the process down so that a key element of that video or key part of that entire process is something that people would be searching for. So yeah, thank you. This is airtime. Is engagement in relevant videos to your channel of benefit to growing it? I think so. I think engagement on YouTube in general, and engage with other people with maybe bigger channels or similar channels to yours. Offer value. Don't plug your own stuff and don't give your own links. Engagement in general, like YouTube is actually a community. It's think of it like Facebook. A lot of people don't. There's a lot going on in the comments. There's a lot going on with engagement through live streams like we are now. So I think engagement is a huge part and a massive benefit to growing your YouTube audience.
Yeah. Yep. And I think in terms of engagement in related videos too, don't even just look at your own videos. So I mean, we've been experimenting. You want to get the maximum session watch time, which is if you bring a user into YouTube, you want to keep them there for as long as possible, and you want to try to not have them jump off YouTube on one of your videos. Now that's obviously a few assumptions in there about what happens in that YouTube black box, but you just want to basically maximize the session watch time. So if I come in and I'm watching a 10-minute video, I watch that 10-minute video and then I jump straight out, YouTube's like, yeah, good watch time on that video, but we would have preferred if they stuck around for a bit longer. So how can you encourage them to go and watch something else? It doesn't have to be something on your channel. The best fit at the end of that video, the best call to action might be to say, go and watch this video on a related channel. This is a really good channel, a really good video that explains this concept, and we don't have a video on that at the moment. So what you've done then is, yeah, I mean, you've sent them off your channel, but they were likely to leave anyway. You've just expanded the session watch time, and YouTube's going to love you for it. And you're basically helping out the community as well. So it's win-win-win.
Yeah. Cool. We got Sniper No Sniping 100's joined us now. Nitro Adventure. Is it a monthly payment fee? That was for TubeBuddy. Yes, it is. There's a free version, and then there's a heap of different I think there's about 4 different payment plans for different feature sets for TubeBuddy. Cool. Hey, thanks guys. By the way, your tutorials are helping me a lot since I started editing my channel videos on my phone. That's awesome, Rocky FIFA. Yeah, I think the power of what we've got in our pockets these days, especially with apps like KindMaster or KineMaster and Power Director on Android, it's just awesome what you can churn out from anywhere without the need to carry a laptop or a really powerful desktop computer. So yeah, that's awesome. Congratulations. Zeke Street. I have a serious idea for YouTube and for our YouTubers, but I don't know how to go about it. Can I share it with you all? Is that something you'd like to share with us now in the chat, or feel free to send us an email, info@primalvideo.com. Yeah, happy to talk. Cool. We're going to wrap this up pretty soon. We've been going for about 45 minutes. So we'll take a few more questions, and if you've got anything specific for video optimization or video ranking, or really any questions at all, we'll take those, and then we'll wrap it up, and we will see you in the next one. So any questions jumping out to you there, Mike? Actually, we've got a good one here about the XSplit. Nice chat, Justin. This is from Leonid. Is it possible to do such a thing with XSplit? We will be testing, playing around with XSplit, but as far as I know, you can bring in chat windows like this. So we're in Wirecast now, and you can definitely do it in OBS as well. It's just once you create your live stream on YouTube, it gives you the live what's it called? The link, the unique URL for your video. You then copy and paste that chat one into your live streaming software, and it'll bring in the chat window. So it's pretty simple. We will be creating some tutorials around this, but I think Nick Nimmin on his channel has has a walkthrough on how to do it with OBS. So I'm hoping it's pretty similar with XSplit, but as far as I know, you can actually you can do the exact same thing. Cool. I don't want to rank, I want to trend. That's Nitro Adventure. Well, you could trend if you're talking about topics that are hot right now, or popular trending topics, instead of things that are yeah, maybe long-term videos. So yeah, cool.
That's a tough one though.
It is a tough one.
Like, I mean, you're shooting for the 1% of the 1% there, and it's not. Yeah, a lot of that is purely based on velocity and engagement, like within a very short period of time, and it has to also be trending, obviously, in terms of a related topic. It's not an easy one to get up there, no. But yeah, sure, go for it. I mean, let us know if you make it, because that would be we have never been there, no. And I don't think if we did, the subscriber number would be a lot higher than it is. But yeah, it would be a lot of work to do to get something out really quick, and something that people are going to want to share, because that's also part of getting something that's going to trend. Is obviously going like viral, so it's on a hot topic. It's got to be out quick, timely, and then be engaging and be something that people will want to share. So yeah. That's impossible. A lot of people do that, and some really big YouTube channels just do that. So they're like almost the news channels. The latest tech, when it comes out, they're straight onto it. So that's awesome, and all the best. All right, what do we got here? My goal is to do comedy skits as well as vlogs. That's from Zeke Street. Awesome. We'll definitely have to check out your channel. We might wrap this up. Mike, if you got anything else to add there, thanks very much for joining us. It's awesome to have you on here. This has worked. A little bit of Skype and Wirecast. That's why we have a video guy on the team.
We did actually try it once before, and there's a little piece of software that we needed to help make it work. You never used to need it, but it's called, and I'll tell you what it is called. It's called Loopback. And that helps you bring in your audio from Skype or from Zoom or from any internal audio on your system to have it repeated back out through Wirecast or OBS. So if you're looking to do something similar, even on Windows as well, I think on Windows the piece of software is called Live Cables, and on Mac it's called Loopback. So yeah, great piece of software. Awesome.
Wire Skype. Thanks, Doug. I like that. That's going to stick now.
That's it. Yeah. Yes. Thank you for joining us live on Wire Skype. Cool. We might wrap it up there. Thank you all for joining us. And again, Mike, thanks for joining. And we will try to do more like this as well. I think it's pretty cool that you get the optimization stuff and Mike's wealth of knowledge to help you guys as well, because that's what we're all about, removing your barriers to video creation, video ranking, and really just, helping you get your videos out there. So thank you very much for taking the time, for jumping on, for interacting with us, and we'll see you in the next one.
Thank you very much. Cue awkward